All right, opera fans, buckle up, because we are about to take a deep dive into French opera.
I'm excited.
This is one of my favorite periods in opera history.
Me too.
We're focusing on the era marked by two absolute giants, Debussy and Bizet.
Big shoes to fill.
Huge.
Yeah.
And we know you are here to really, you want to get this. You want to be able to ace that certificate on explorations in French opera.
That's right.
So we're going to hit those high notes.
They are.
We're going to make sure that this era of French opera really sings for you.
Absolutely. It's such a fascinating era to explore.
It is.
Think about it. France, right on the edge of the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
So much change in the air, new ideas building up, politics swirling around, and this incredible restless energy in the art world.
Yeah.
And both Debussy and Bizet, they grabbed hold of that energy, poured it into their music. But here's the thing, they did it in such different ways. It's amazing.
Yeah, they really did. They really, talk about two different approaches. But before we get into their differences, I think, why don't we start with Debussy?
Okay, yeah.
And his masterpiece, Pelléas et Mélisande.
A masterpiece, absolutely.
Now, let's be clear.
Mm-hmm.
This is not your grandma's opera.
Yeah, no, this is something completely different.
Debussy basically said, you know what? Rule book. Out the window. I am done with this. When it came to traditional harmony and tonality, he was a musical revolutionary.
Yeah, he was a rebel, but he had a cause. He was deeply connected to the symbolist movement that was kind of exploding in the art scene at the time.
That's right. And you can really see the parallels, right?
Absolutely. Think about it. Just as symbolist painters and writers were moving away from literal representations of things, Debussy, he wanted to do the same thing with music.
So it's less about telling a clear-cut story. It's more about creating a feeling, an atmosphere.
Exactly. It's like he's creating a soundscape that pulls you right into the heart of the drama.
So he's not just telling you a story, he's making you feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the way he does it with harmony, it's incredible. He uses these things called modes. It's almost like he's borrowing sounds from medieval times.
Oh, wow.
Creates this hazy, almost unsettling atmosphere. Dreamlike, completely new for opera. Nobody had heard anything like it before.
Okay. So we've talked about pushing boundaries with Debussy, but now let's get ready for a trip to Spain. We have Bizet's Carmen on deck, and this opera is just overflowing with passion, tragedy, and some of the most memorable melodies ever written. Carmen practically invented the earworm.
Oh, Carmen. Talk about a cultural fusion. Bizet takes the spirit of Spain, those fiery rhythms, those melodies, the click-clack of castanets, and he injects them right into the heart of Carmen.
Yeah. It's impossible not to get swept up in it.
And it's not just for show, it's all masterfully woven into the story. It's part of what makes the experience so captivating.
It really is. And speaking of captivating, we can't forget about Carmen herself. She is such a powerful female character, way ahead of her time.
She really is. She's not afraid to go after what she wants, to defy expectations, and ultimately to choose her own fate.
And you have to remember, this is 19th century France.
Right. Social expectations for women, incredibly strict.
So to have a character like Carmen, defiant, assertive, refusing to be controlled.
It was scandalous.
It really was.
Yeah.
Audiences at the time were shocked.
Oh, yeah. They were not ready for a woman like Carmen. But that's what makes her so incredible. And Carmen, too. It was musically revolutionary, but it also challenged these deeply ingrained social norms.
Which is probably why it took a while for Carmen to really resonate with audiences.
Right. Think about it. Premiere. Mixed reviews.
Seriously.
Yeah, I know. People thought it was too much. The energy, the themes, too scandalous for the opera stage.
But that's how it is with groundbreaking art, right?
Mm.
There's always resistance at first.
Yeah. It's true. But now, look at Carmen. It's one of the most beloved operas of all time. Performed everywhere.
A true classic.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing to think that we have these two incredible composers, Debussy and Bizet, working at the same time, each pushing the boundaries of opera in such distinct ways.
It's remarkable, isn't it? It shows you the creative energy of that era.
They both explore universal themes, love, fate, societal pressures.
Exactly. But the way they express those themes through music, night and day.
It makes you think about how much the music itself shapes our experience, right?
Totally.
Like when you listen to Debussy's dreamy atmospheric score for Pelléas, does it make you feel love and fate differently than when you hear those passionate, almost volatile melodies in Bizet's Carmen?
That's a great question.
Yeah. It really makes you think about the power of music.
Yeah.
and how these two French opera giants use that power to create works that are still relevant, still moving, even today. So as you continue your own deep dive into French opera, keep that question in mind. How does the music make you feel? How does it shape your understanding of the story? It's something to ponder.